CBS News correspondent Chip Reid is in Washington, where, of course, the circus arrived, it's fair to say, yesterday, if nothing else. Chip, and part of the big news really coming out of yesterday's visit by Donald Trump to RNC headquarters is that the House Speaker, Paul Ryan, remains unwilling to outright endorse him 24 hours later now. Do we see that changing before the convention?
I tell you, it would be stunning if it doesn't change before the convention, because Paul Ryan said that Donald Trump told him yesterday, yes, I want you to be the chairman of the convention. So presumably he is going to be the chairman of the convention. And to have the chairman of the convention not endorse the presumptive nominee, or the person who is expected to be the nominee by that point, would be huge news, especially in light of the fact that Paul Ryan has made very clear that he wants a unified Republican Party at that convention. So now, having said that, he was specifically asked the question yesterday, Paul Ryan was, and all he said was that we're moving in the right direction. He wants to make sure that Donald Trump makes clear that he supports conservative principles. He's not saying he has to agree with them on every issue. So bottom line, it would be almost unimaginable that Ryan would not endorse him. Maybe a lukewarm endorsement. Maybe he says, I endorse him, but I disagree with him on this, this, and this. But to go into the convention without an endorsement from the chairman of the convention would be big news and a real distraction.
And perhaps Paul Ryan waiting to see how the party proper coalesces behind Trump. There were some positive signs for the presumptive nominee yesterday. Lindsey Graham, certainly one of Trump's biggest critics throughout the campaign, actually came out and said they had a pleasant 15-minute conversation about national security. He didn't take the shots we've normally seen Lindsey Graham take on social media and other places. Former Secretary of State James Baker reportedly met with Trump as well, said the establishment really does seem to be warming to him. Is that the sense, again, one day later?
I would say some members of the establishment are, I mean, some are jumping in head first and saying he can win and we've got to beat Hillary Clinton. Others are dragging their feet and doing it reluctantly. There are still many out there who are saying absolutely not, I'm not going to support this guy, period. I think with Lindsey Graham, it's just reluctantly accepting reality. I don't think it's really warming. I think he's just hoping that maybe he can influence Donald Trump on foreign policy and national security issues. Don't forget, Lindsey Graham called Donald Trump a nut job and a jackass and various other things. It's hard to imagine that he would ever endorse him. And with James Baker, yes, he met with him, but he also told Congress that he thinks that some of Donald Trump's policies, especially pulling out of or at least weakening NATO, would be destabilizing. And also when Trump suggested that more nations should have nuclear weapons, that would be destabilizing. So I think both of those men, Graham and Baker, are very concerned about Donald Trump, and they're hoping that they can perhaps influence him in what they see as the right direction. But I don't think they're really warming to him. Again, I think they are just kind of reluctantly accepting reality.
Still bridges to be built over the divide. Chip Reid in Washington, we thank you.
You bet.